Hello there, croeso and welcome. I'm Shadow Lumox and I'm here today to start a new career for my team in F1 2021. Just picked up the game, basically just last weekend. And while I've been a huge F1 and motorsport fan since the early 90s when I started watching, in the days of Senna, Prost and Mansell, and I've been playing computer games since the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. Again, late 80s, early 90s. This is the first F1 game I have ever owned. And even, if I remember correctly, which I doubt I do, the first F1 game I've ever played. And yeah, I just basically wanted to see if I could get good at this game. I've seen plenty of streams, plenty of videos of people doing this, and as you can see, this isn't going to be one of those ones where they stick the AI difficulty on 110 and sort of lap the field a million times in a 5-lap race. This is going to be kind of noob get good on F1, and I found it to be a pretty steep learning curve for myself. I'm guessing others will probably have a much easier time, but we're just going to speed up this bit here where I create my character. Obviously, make him Welsh. If you haven't figured out by now with the croissant, the diolch, that I am from Wales. And pretty much the entire colour scheme I'm going to use is red, green and white. No real originality there, but I've been using this colour scheme in computer games since they started bringing in custom creations into computer games. And go for my team name, Shadow Lumox Racing. My driver owner is called Bob Strong. Nice strong name. I've gone for the Mercedes engine because I figured I'm going to need all the help I can get in a straight line. My aim as I go through this is to get good at an F1 game, and I do want to eventually, hopefully over the course of 10 seasons, be able to get to the point where I can bump the AI up to 110 and go round lapping the entire field and all that jazz. I've sped up all the creation stuff because it is just me looking at a load of the settings. I redo that emblem and end up making something that looks like, I don't know, reminds me of just like a corner shop logo or something like that. And what I aim to do with all these videos is potentially a 10-season career here within my team, and I wouldn't mind seeing it through. I'm just doing 5-lap races, one-shot qualifying, do have all the practice on and all the R&D stuff, as you can see. Thinking my first upgrade, I go for quality control, stop those failures for the other upgrades, or lower the chances of them. And yeah, I don't just want to show the races. Eventually I want to try and do it as sort of narrating, commentating on the race, but I'm really just finding my feet on how I want to do these videos and finding my feet on how to play the game and how to get good. When I first got it, I jumped straight into a time trial on Bahrain, and after many failed attempts, I set a lap that thought I was quite happy with. Turned out that it was only like 12,000th best time in the world, so plenty of improvement. And whenever I go online, just in the casual beginner lobbies, I'm still about somewhere between 3 and 10 seconds off the pace a lap, and that's just massive. Anything more than 3 seconds really is quite big in this sort of racing game. So What you're seeing here, this is the practice, the track acclimatization. I did a very poor job of learning the track, but it caught me by surprise that I said massive motorsport, F1 and motorsport fan. I consume as much as I can. If it's got wheels and an engine, I'll watch it. I'll watch the people race it. I don't buy into this all stick to one type formula of motorsport. I love it. I love all motorsport. And while I know the tracks, in a racing game situation, as you can see, I do not know them at all. I don't know the racing lines, I don't know the braking points. So I've got the racing line driver assist on, and if you've seen at the beginning of the video when I was quickly going through the settings, the only assist I've got on is the driving line, and I've got medium traction control because I'm a little heavy on my right finger, and that R2 button gets a bit of a hammering. But ABS, and I don't even know why you'd want steering assist. I find any game that has it, it gets in the way more than anything else. But ABS is off, so you'll hear lots of locking up as I get used to how to play this game. And I think I pick up these tracks quite quickly. I say that when you see the lap times, probably ultimately not very competitive. But I do want to show these not going to show all the practice sessions from when I do my team, but I do want to show basically me learning how to play. Don't want to edit it to make it look like I've just jumped into the game and I was shit hot right off the bat, because that's just not the case. It turns out I'm just shit. So I'm going to be sticking with this, narrating my way through the opening Grand Prix in my team. I picked Marcus Armstrong as my second driver. Maybe because he had the best pace from the cheapest band of drivers. Always best to save yourself money in these sort of my team manager career mode in any sports game. I will be hoping to get all the accolades from myself and my character, and they're just there to fill the second driver slot. You can see I get a half decent score, and then for the rest of the practices I have a go with this quick practice. You see that I have actually given all the practice programs a try with varying success, and I give these quick practice a go as well with varying success, which seems to be will be the running theme probably for this whole first season. So I learn the game, learn the tracks, and got a set timeline of 10 seasons, so essentially 10 attempts at each track to get myself better. But there we go, we're now on to the one-shot qualifying, and I do a lot better than I thought I'd do. I might need to actually up the AI difficulty for the next race. Brake way too early here. Very rarely get my braking points right, but as you can see I'm already about half a second off the lead here. Get this corner quite nicely. Surprise myself. This section coming up, I very rarely get it right. Take a few stabs of the throttle. You see as well, I've got I'm doing manual gears. I've got as well the gear suggestion, which I mess up quite a lot. Here we go. See, get that turn 10 wrong all the time. Just shoot off wide. But this one, I actually like this little section here. See, don't do too bad actually. Need a little lift here because my car just isn't good enough to be able to take that flat out. As you can see, I'm in the wrong gear. Again, this is going to be a running theme, I think, for the first few seasons, especially as I continue to learn the tracks in the game. A nice liberal cut to the corner there. And as we come up to finish the qualifying lap, I surprise myself with an 11th place qualifying position, which kind of indicates that I've probably set the AI maybe a bit too low, because I'm not that good. I'm definitely not, especially in a brand new car, brand new team. But as we move on now to the race, I'm going to go through the starting grid for the Bahrain Grand Prix as we wait for that to pop up. So the flying Finn, or who's soon to be the only flying Finn left on the grid, Bottas in first, Verstappen second, Perez third, Hamilton fourth, then Norris and Ricciardo, the two McLaren drivers, two Ferrari drivers, Leclerc and Sainz, Vettel and Gasly, the battle of the STRs, Stroll and Stroll, Alonso and Ocon with the Renaults, Tsunoda and Raikkonen, Armstrong and Giovinazzi, Schumacher and Latifi, and then in the last row, Mazepin and Russell, which isn't exactly true to form. And here we go into the race. Get my RPM set, using the manual starts, and you'll see a bit of editing now with the replay function. I'm using this to cover up where I've used flashbacks, because I don't want to fill up the video with that. Nice little contact with Norris there. Leclerc takes himself out trying to cut the corner, but I'm having none of it. As you said, I got a warning there for contact with Norris, and managed to get myself up to 6th from 11th. Not a bad start. I just basically sent it down the inside and hope I didn't take out my front wing. You can see I'm already losing time. It's a messy section there, but I do surprise myself. Had a nice little battle with the McLaren drivers and don't fall off completely as I thought I was going to do. As we go down the back straight now, and again got my braking point just right, I think, there. As we come up to here, just no lift all the time. I actually get this corner right. Bit rare. So we got the slipstream from Norris now as we go down the coming down to the last corner now into the straight. Had a look at the inside, but would have lost my front wing there if I'd properly sent it. I don't always use ERS, mainly because I'm still getting used to using that sort of stuff, and a nice send up the inside there. Pressed myself more than anything. Now I'm latching onto the back of Hamilton, but the Red Bull and the Mercedes pairs are going to shoot off into the distance and leave me in my little personal battle with the McLaren team. Again, we're going to come up to this section. I'm just going to get it wrong. Actually, no. What do you know? I can actually do that section right. Don't get that right though. Run out a little wide there. Gonna mess up my braking now into this corner. Again, just run wide, but I get the power down. Keep Norris behind me now for another lap. As we come up now to this section, brake a little later there, drifted off wide. You can see the Mercedes pulling away in front now as they're trying to chase down the Red Bulls. I've still got Norris nicely on my tail, just waiting for me to make a mistake, which is going to happen, but the AI doesn't know that. And got that corner quite nicely, actually. As we come down the main straight now to get myself to get onto the third lap, enable DRS. Not really going to help me here because Hamilton's already 1.2 up the road. And this is where it all goes wrong. Complete mess of that corner, bounced across the inside, mess up my upshifts, all sorts. But still hold the position. Just about get that corner right. See if I can get this section correct again. No is the answer to that. But didn't lose too much time. Still managed to get my braking point for that little hairpin there. We come up to this the tricky turn 10, and I've gone out wide again. I don't think I hit the apex once on that corner, and if I do, it's when I cut it because I braked way too early. Braked a bit late again there. Still finding getting my braking points for each of these circuits, but I've barely done any laps. I'm using this career mode not only to teach myself the game, but to teach myself the tracks as well. I always find I learn better when I'm in a race rather than doing time trials. Even against the AI, I can always take cues off them, even if they're not the best AI possible. They're still better than me. So I will take any advantage and any learning opportunity I can get. Brake way too late there, carry too much speed in, messes up 2 and 3. Lando's going to get a lovely run up here as we get a nice little cutaway as I mess up the exit of this corner. Nice little lock up there. Danny having a little look as well, but I'm having none of that. I'm not losing 2 places in 2 corners. I get that little S section wrong again, but I do that a little better. Let's see then, 4th time's a charm. Can I get this right? No, but it's better. A little squirrely on the exit, don't have any traction. Gonna give Danny a run, but he isn't the last of the late breakers on in this game, and even with a bit of contact, I managed to hold the position, which I'm not gonna lie, even though it's the AI, even though they're not at the max setting, I was still quite happy with that. Getting my elbows out in a clean way, especially coming from the fact that the racing game I've been playing the most for the last few years has been Wreckfest, and you definitely can't take that driving style into this sort of game. So there was a lot for me to learn. So we come down to turn 1, and I get my braking just about right for that actually. Not too bad, that's probably the tidiest I've done it so far. Get myself a nice run here, got a nice little gap to Danny, got myself into the DRS zone against Lando, but I doubt I'll be able to actually string a consistent enough lap together to get close. And as you can see, a little mistake, and he's already got an extra second on me, or an extra half a second to pull himself away now to DRS. Nice little camera cut there to hide the fact that I had to use the flashback again. Run wide yet again at turn 10, but it does mean that I can get a good drive off the corner to stop Danny having any ideas about sending it up the inside again. Still don't get that right, just taking my own line, making very liberal use of the track limits, which fortunately aren't on super strict esports settings. Now letting me get away. That was horrible braking there, absolutely awful. But nice fireworks to finish, and a 6th place, which was a lot better than I expected, to be perfectly honest. I thought I'd be down. I thought I'd be lucky to get points in my first race in my team. Again, maybe I've got the AI setting a little too low. Might want to bump it up, give myself a challenge. But there are the final results, and that is the first race in the bag. I'm going to keep doing these, so I'm just going to say diolch and thank you for watching.